Is Calgary a safe place to invest right now? That's a question I'm getting again and again and again. So everybody's worried about the market crashing. People are worried about where do we put our money for a safe, stable return? And Calgary is the one that's hitting the mark. So people are moving here. We don't have enough homes for them. You sprinkle in a little bit of fear with this year, and you have the perfect storm for investors to make some serious gains. So stay to the end on this video. You don't want to miss out. This is a really foundational video if you want to invest in Calgary real estate. Let's start with the big picture. So we've got the highest GDP per capita of all the Canadian cities. People are here, they're working hard. We've got the highest concentration of tech workers in Canadian cities. And we've got the highest head office concentration per capita in Canada. Immigration and in-migration is off the charts right now. After watching this video, you might want to find our videos on why people are moving to Calgary. That might shed a little bit more light on why this phenomenon is happening. So Calgary has the highest in-migration in all Canadian cities. So what that says is people are moving here, which is of course great news. And I'm not talking immigration, I'm talking in-migration, people from other provinces. Add to that immigration. Canada added something like 400,000 plus new permanent residents in 2022. In 2023, they're planning on bringing in 440,000 plus new residents, and then 450,000 plus in 2024. There's going to be a lot of people coming to our country. A lot of them are going to end up in Calgary, and that's just going to fuel things even higher. It's going to be insanity. So with thousands of people moving here and seriously low housing inventory, what do you think is going to happen? Affordability in Calgary is insanely good. We are literally half the price of the average family home in Vancouver and Toronto. 50% off. And according to RBC, the Affordability Index, which is a really cool report that I like to keep an eye on, this tells us how much money from an average family income does it take to afford an average family home. And once again, we are sitting in a really sweet spot. So to give you some examples and some context around this, in Vancouver, 90% of an average family income goes towards paying housing costs. Toronto, 83%. Ottawa, 48.5%. Montreal, 47%. So all of these cities are very expensive to live. And then we get down to Calgary, 38.8%. So that's pretty affordable. One of the questions I get a lot is, does Calgary cash flow? Because all investors want cash flow. Yes, it's important. Not as good as it did last year, but there is still cash flow. There's still tremendous opportunity. You just need to know where to look. Rising interest rates have eroded it a little bit, but it's still there. And if you're looking for appreciation, this is going to be the place. Also, with rising interest rates and low vacancy rate, we can expect rent increases to go through the roof. And there are some cash flow hacks that we're going to share to bump up your numbers. So it's not just all the basic stuff. With a few tweaks, we can turn the dials and really get you cash flowing strong. Another thing I love about investing in Alberta, Calgary specifically, landlord-tenant rules here are awesome. I've researched Ontario, I've researched British Columbia, researched a few places in the US, not so much the middle of Canada, but what I've seen is landlord-tenant rules that favor the tenant and really put the landlord in harm's way. And we don't have that in Alberta. Everything here is fair. It's a good place to be if you're a tenant or a landlord. This is not a place where your rents are locked in. It's not a place where you're going to be held hostage by your tenants. You can still do a term lease that ends when it's supposed to. You can still raise your rents to keep up with the market increases. There's no limitations like you see in other places. So for example, if the market rent is $2,000 this year and next year maybe similar homes are going for $2,500, you're able to raise your rents to match that. You're not being handcuffed by the rules. The next thing I'm loving about investing in Calgary right now is a very strong rental market. I have not seen the rental market in Calgary perform this well in many, many years. The demand is extremely high. We're close to 0% vacancy. Rents are on the rise. It's just the perfect place to be for that. A couple of other things that investors are loving here. We have lots of different housing types to choose from. You can get a decent condo starting in the low 200,000 range. Even lower, we probably don't want to go there, but you can do it all the way through to $1 million plus. And that middle point is really nice. You can get a detached house, 400, 500,000 with a secondary suite. You can get into a duplex, 6 to 700,000, fourplexes, 7 to $1 million, somewhere around there. And then of course, multifamily buildings with the full spectrum. You've got a lot of good choice. So whatever your investment strategy is, you can find a property to suit. And no land transfer tax. I was just talking to a friend of mine out in the hall, and he was telling me about all the stuff he was dealing with in BC, including vacant ownership tax, and then there's the land transfer taxes and all these kind of things. We don't have that here. Just good, honest prices with no fine print. So if you're looking for a safe, stable return on your money and you're not quite sure what to do, we should connect. We can talk about Calgary. We can talk about a few other options. Whether you want to buy one rental property, maybe invest in a portfolio, maybe something bigger, a multifamily or some commercial. Whatever you're looking for, we should go through your options. And of course, we also have hands-free options. Not everybody wants tenants, trash, and toilets. We can help there too. We have lending opportunities, fixed rates. You know exactly what you're getting, just monthly cash flow. That's it. We've got a couple other videos that we're going to be doing here that are going to be worth watching. It's basically, why are people moving to Calgary and what's behind the curtain? Why is this market so strong? If this has been helpful, please like and subscribe. I think we're going to have a lot more good stuff. If you explore our YouTube page, you're going to find that we've got cool tips for investors and all kinds of fun stuff.